Stand by for meaningful dialogue about the issues of today on the live discussion program, Tough, Hard, Thorny Issues. Tough, Hard, Thorny Issues is brought to you by Tough Paper Towels. Tough Paper Towels. They're tough. Also brought to you by the publishers of hardcover books who say, read a hardcover book today, you ignorant imbecile. And by the growers of thorny roses who remind you to be careful of the thorns. And now your host for Tough, Hard, Thorny Issues, Don Whitaker.
Hello, I'm Don Whitaker, and welcome to Tough, Hard, Thorny Issues. My guest is Randal Stone of the African American Rights Coalition. Good afternoon, Mr. Stone.
Good afternoon.
Now, today we're going to talk about the news media and how they cover the white and African American communities. Now, Mr. Stone, in a recent editorial in the Seattle Times, you say there's a definite pattern to this reporting.
That's right. What I've found is that crime reporting reflects a strong bias that legitimizes white victims but undervalues people of color.
Can you give us an example?
Well, for instance, major crimes in minority neighborhoods are ignored because the local media doesn't consider that newsworthy. But lesser events that happen in white neighborhoods are treated as if civilization itself is under siege.
Yeah, well, Mr. Stone, isn't that a little exaggerated? I mean, the fact of the matter.
We interrupt this program for a special report. We now go live to Mercer Island for a breaking news story.
I'm Ellen Carver, reporting from Mercer Island, where a man's newspaper has apparently been stolen from right out in front of his house. Police confirm that the paper was delivered at 4 o'clock, but was missing when the man arrived home in his Lexus at around 5. They say this is especially upsetting to the victim because he's a Republican. Police are warning all residents to lock their doors and to please keep all children and golden retrievers inside. We will be updating you on the story as it develops.
What is this world coming to? I'm sorry about that interruption, by the way. Go on, Mr. Stone.
What I was saying is that serious crimes in black communities are ignored by the local news, while in a white neighborhood, if someone so much as has, say, their antenna busted off of their car, it's all over the front page of every...
We interrupt this program to bring you this special report from Magnolia.
I'm Carl Leach in Magnolia, where police are reporting a rash of broken car antennas in this predominantly white community. Now, I'm standing here with Sarah Barker, who thought she was a victim of this senseless crime until she realized she had merely lowered her antenna before going through a car wash. But, Sarah, how did it make you feel when you thought your antenna had been broken off?
Well, it was truly frightening because you don't expect that kind of thing to happen in a white neighborhood like Magnolia. I mean, that's why people move here in the first place. Plus, I was very afraid that I would not be able to get Rush Limbaugh on my car radio, so I was very upset.
Fortunately, Sarah is not a victim this time, but she is a victim in the sense that a series of crimes that should not have broken out in a white community like this have. Police are encouraging local residents to visit their local white urban stress wellness centers for counseling. I'm Carl Leach.
Damn. You know, I had a hood bra stolen in broad daylight just a couple of weeks ago.
You know, this has been a typical display of exactly what my point is in reference to what I'm talking about.
We interrupt this program to bring you this special report from Laurelhurst.
I'm John Levine in Laurelhurst, where news of crimes in other white neighborhoods of stolen newspapers and broken car antennas has left this community in fear. Blockwatch Captain Walter Stevens is with us today to tell us what the mood is in this usually sedate white neighborhood.
Well, it's like civilization itself is under siege. You know, we have our young people here are running around worried that people are coming into our neighborhood to steal their Doc Martens. We have young mothers who are afraid to let their little ones go out when they hear the music from the gelati truck. It's just that everyone is a lot more uptight and suspicious, even more than you would expect in a really uptight and suspicious neighborhood like this.
Get out of my white neighborhood!
You see what I mean? You see?
A community gripped by fear, and yet somehow we are all the poorer for it, especially those who have lost their newspapers and car antennas. I'm John Levine.
I said go away!
I've had just about as much of this as I can take.
Well, that's okay, because we're out of time anyway. And it's a good example of what we'll be talking about next week when we discuss the topic, African Americans. Why so angry all the time? Join us then on Tough